Hey guys, James here again. This is me. What if Denji went back in time? This video would contain heavy manga spoilers for Chainsaw Man, and for like stories like I would say Hunter x Hunter, I don't really care about giving manga spoilers because the anime isn't that far off from the manga so far. So if you get manga spoiled, it's honestly just your fault for not reading the manga after like 5-6 years that it's been out. So yeah. Hunter x Hunter, no manga spoilers. This one, no manga spoilers because it's very, very popular anime, but also people seem to love it a lot more. So, yeah. When this one, well, first off, spoilers coming in. When Aki became the Gun Devil hybrid and died at Denji's hands, when Power ended up being killed by Makima, and then Denji ended up having her power. Well, Denji at some point with Nayuta and everything, Denji at some point in his adulthood would encounter a devil known as the Past Devil. Now, there's a future devil and everything, and honestly, I know people who are more haunted by their past than scared of the future. This devil's power allows people to view the past, but because this devil is so powerful, it's gone out of hell one time. Or it's gone out of hell one single time, and this is the one single time. And because it's arrogant fuels its power, Denji and the past devil fight. As they fight, it's more like a draw, and the devil decides to use a technique that would kill Denji and him by sending them both back in time. The thing is, the devil's never used it on humans, it just kills devils. Devils are set in stone. He rewinds back to before they even existed, so they're permanently dead. Denji's gonna exist no matter what. He's gonna be born no matter what. Destroy his fetus, well, guess what? A minute later, thinks to his dad, there's a fetus. Alright. Denji's just been a constant cycle of being born, and the devil kills itself, essentially. Because it was so weakened, to the point where it had to use every ounce of power in his body to use this power. When Denji's born, he has a very, view of a baby as Rudius would in the anime. So, yeah. But when Denji's roughly about, when his dad dies, Denji's a smart boy and knows what's happening. He's not the smartest, but he knows how to prevent a shitty lifestyle. But with this, his dad already had a decent amount of money saved up, and his dad in this one, still died, but left a lot of money to Denji that he had saved up, or just regular money. So when it came to the dad's debt, Denji already had enough money to pay the Yakuza around 95% of what his dad owed. With this, Yakuza are like, oh, he had that much money saved up, why didn't you pay us? Denji's like, because a lot of the money that I got, that I paid you, some of it came from an inheritance. And for the 5%, I should pay off in a year or so. They didn't believe Denji already had Pochita hidden. He found Pochita before his dad even died. So yeah, Pochita was kind of a pet dog, and he told his dad, oh, Dad, it's a weekend devil, it's calm. I occasionally give it blood, and if I give it blood, it's safe. So yeah, and Denji has had Pochita for a while, so Pochita and Denji are already pretty well accustomed to each other. But at some point when Denji, I would say a year after his dad dies, Denji talked to Pochita and told him his entire life story. Pochita knows of the Time Devil, or Past Devil, and Past Devil doesn't go near Pochita because it constantly exists to erase devils. The Past Devil just avoids Denji, avoids Pochita. Denji basically says to Pochita, how about this? I'm going to find people, and I'm going to pour all their blood into you until you're stronger. When you're at your strongest, I want to fuse with you. I want to become a devil-human hybrid. But I want to be stronger than before. And Pochita just barks, and the bark sounded like a bark of agreement, so it worked. And Denji at this point already has advanced human skills to the point where he's above a majority of adults. His power is probably in terms of all-around skill, he's equal to Kishibe in skill. So he trained to Kishibe. Then he had a few extra years to train that skill. So yeah. And Denji's weapons aren't traditional weapons. No, they're more like chains, but they're sharp chains, and he whips them around just like regular. But eventually with this, Denji's able to feed Pochita enough blood to actually make Pochita normal. Pochita was about to basically go berserk like a blood fiend, like a blood drive. But Denji would basically just tell Pochita, use your his sentience, and fuse. With Denji ends up cutting his chest open, and he does the same to Pochita. Pochita and Denji are able to fuse this way, and Denji would get the most powerful version of the Chainsaw Devil. giving Denji the ability to actually, force Pochita out of his mind, but force Pochita into his heart. With this, Denji and Pochita are, now regular beings, and, Pochita's like the giant armor form where he wears Denji's intestines as kind of like a scarf. Denji's like hybrid form, he doesn't need to do that, but he can turn into that version of Pochita as like his hybrid form. And he's still being in full control of it, not under control of anyone else. Because this Chainsaw Devil is more powerful than the version of it in Hell, he's basically probably as strong as the I would say, I forget if it's the Four Horsemen or not, but who cares? Hold up. So Denji, with the most powerful version of Pochita ever, is likely probably as strong as probably as strong as the Four Horsemen. So yeah. Plus Denji already having full control of his power and having a lot earlier, he'd achieve heights more than bigger than before. Like Denji, quote unquote, died in his timeline when he was probably about 23. He had Pochita for about 7 years. This Denji's dad died when he was like 10. Denji became infused with Pochita when he was like 13. So by the time he meets Makima and everything, kills the zombie devil and all the Yakuza, he just works in the Yakuza now for sake of saving up cash. He paid the Yakuza off in a year. It was pretty good for him. The Yakuza now have Denji as like a servant, but he doesn't show them a hybrid powers. So yeah. Also, Denji, it's like a pettiness, killed the Yakuza's grandkid, like the Yakuza boss's grandkid before he ended up leaving the Yakuza permanently. Out of like a pettiness for him, But then destroyed the entire Yakuza without killing everyone, which is much to his dismay. But he beat majority of people there with just raw physical force, not even using devil powers. So yeah. Then in terms of building everything, there's a lot like Kishibe. He's pretty well physically built, and his skills are passing a lot of characters. But one thing that Denji did, when Makima tells Denji that she wants to recruit him, he says, "Sure, but if you're going to recruit me, I have someone else I'd like you to recruit." And then Makima's like, "Oh yes, who would this be?" But then Denji goes to his house and points out Power, who's just in his bathtub, not even doing anything, sitting there. He says, "Yeah, that's Power. She's a blood fiend." And immediately, this shocks Makima that the blood fiend was here. She wanted to recruit her, but she couldn't find her. Denji kind of cleared his house of any sort of ability for Makima to track him. So, pause. So, Denji basically kind of cleared everywhere on his house so that Makima couldn't listen in on him or Power, and he found Power, so, yeah. Makima saw Denji find Power and her cat and bring them back. Also, Denji kind of found Power before the Bat Devil found her, so, yeah. Also, Denji knows where it is and everything, but he's gonna hunt it down, solely for fun. So yeah, with this, Makima recruits Denji and Power trains with Denji a little bit for the last few days, and he gets a control over her abilities. But yeah. Now with this, Denji and Power, they meet their new partner, Aki. And Denji kind of taught Power to be proper, like a proper human, as Denji learned that later on in life from examining Aki and remembering what Aki did. So yeah. Like house skills, similar to Aki, basically. Of personality, basically the same, just a bit more mild. So yeah. He learned a few things in high school, so, yeah. But eventually, when Aki meets them, he actually asks Denji and Power if they've ever hunted devils before. Or actually tries to beat up Denji some ways before. But when he tried to punch Denji in the face, Denji pretty easily grabbed his fist, flipped him through the air, and punched him into a wall. And Aki's actually shocked by that as the wind was knocked out of him and he's upside down, almost choking on his own vomit. But then she simply told Aki that he's hunting devils for 6 years now, with and without payment. And each fight he's done, he's never struggled once. And these devils can go for over $100,000. And immediately Aki just realizes that Denji's a whole different level, and he's fought devils for free. And Denji even says the devil he has right now is the one that permanently kills devils. Aki and Power are actually confused by this and actually shocked, but then Denji breaks down how devils work. Devils are born in hell from the fears of humans. Humans can be afraid of chainsaws, hence Chainsaw Devil, as he then shows off the chainsaw coming from his hand, which Denji can now actually forcefully activate without pulling the pin, but it just hurts a lot more and it's less effective. He says, yeah, sense of fear of chainsaws. He reaches back in his hand, then he says, but also the fear of blood. And then says that those fears are born from humans, it can be from any amount of time in history. But devils originate in hell. If they're killed in hell, they come back up here. If they're killed up here, they go back to hell. They go get killed in hell again, they come back up here. And some devils stay in hell because they've never been killed by another devil. My devil makes sure that they can't go anywhere in between. They just die. Well, in hell, they just die. Up here, hell. So yeah. It also breaks down that if another devil would kill a devil, like his devil's the only one that permanently erases them. But also, before they could realize something, Denji pulled the pin on his, or the cord on his chest as he kind of whipped everything around him, killing a majority of small animals was within like earshot. He immediately just told them really quickly, but faster than they could hear, saying, Makima has, he's like not trying to scare them, but says, Makima has a contract with the control devil. Anything we say, she will be listening. We need to go find somewhere secret, preferably my house. Aki's actually shocked by this, but they run. And Makima tries to trail them still because Denji concerns her because he has full control over the most powerful version of the Chainsaw Devil he's ever seen. For this, Denji, Aki, and Power head to Denji's house, and they talk for a bit. Aki doesn't believe any of this, so Denji reveals that he knows where every piece of the Gun Devil is. Makima has a few of them. And with this, Denji breaks down where every piece of the Gun Devil is, and Aki's shocked by this. Denji breaks down almost everything of Aki's contracts too, what the sword does, all of his friends. This does confuse them until Denji then tells them how he knows all this. And tells them about his original timeline and how he came here. Now, Aki does realize that Denji's gone through a lot, and stuff that basically break Aki like a stick. And Denji's here still standing, and about to fix it. And Aki knows liars. Denji happens to not be one of those said liars. He's glad about that. But eventually Aki decides that he'll help Denji, and Denji simply tells Aki that he knows a way to, prevent Aki's death. Because he says he refuses to let Aki die again, and because, last time Aki's death was set in stone by his hands. So yeah, so with this, they go to Denji's house, they go hunting for a few devils, and then he decides that he'll hunt a devil that's kind of strong. And then she has an idea, telling Power she has to hunt it. Power says, "Oh, what devil?" He says, "The Bat Devil." She's like, "Okay, that's gonna be hard, but I'll do it." So yeah. Power would go after the Bat Devil, and it does currently, I say she's equal to it in terms of all-around skill that Denji has taught her. And she's able to defeat it, but she's panting, covered in blood now. Well, then we go over to Aki, who's covered in blood, panting as well. As Denji's forcing him to use only physical might to take down devils, refusing to let him make contracts with devils. He even took Denji's sword, he took Aki's sword and broke it in half and threw it out. So yeah. He's training them how Kishibe trained him, just less death. So yeah. But Denji at some point has an idea. Denji would at some point be able to kind of erase every single creature that can listen for Makima's help, including even killing a few people. By the way, he does it by using chains. Preferably, when he used blades, no one would have expected it. With this, Denji is not the first one to blame, as he's able to steal a piece of the Gun Devil, and he gives it to Aki. And Denji immediately kind of forces his presence on the Gun Devil, revealing who he is, going into his full hybrid form. And the Gun Devil knows that if Denji would kill him now, he cannot come back. He knows that if he were to come back from hell, he'd die all over again at Denji's hands, even if he was at his strongest. So with this, Gun Devil has no other choice but to blend in with Aki, making Aki the Gun Devil hybrid. But now, anytime the Gun Devil wants to get rowdy, then Denji's going to stop it. So this makes a team of 2 hybrids and a fiend. But Aki doesn't really display his power so far. So yeah. Now Aki, when he came to physical training, had killed the Leech Devil by himself, but it was a relatively hard battle because Denji had to save him from any deadly blows. So yeah. At some point, Denji even went into the woods just for training where he met Kishibe, happened to be a devil hunter. With this, up until the Eternity Devil arc, up until the Eternity Devil arc, Denji, Power, and Aki train with Kishibe, and then Denji's kind of able to sign on Kishibe, carving into his own skin slowly, saying, "We know Makima's secret." Kishibe is able to read that before smirking, and stops fighting, telling them that he'll make sure they're as strong as they need to be. So yeah, he even brings over Himeno, and then even tells her everything. Same for Kobeni and Arai. Or probably not Kobeni and Arai because they're panicky, but yeah. But, yeah. Now, Denji, Power, Aki, Himeno, Kobeni, Arai, they all train as a group for a while, so it comes down to the Eternity Devil arc. Now, Denji already knew this was coming, and even dressed as a slightly professional. When Himeno promised him a kiss, he says, sure, but he does not kiss drunk women. Himeno didn't ask why, and then Denji simply says, last time he did it, she threw up in his mouth. And because of his, starvation, and then his body's idea to slurp down anything that's, that's nutritious, he ate it by accident. Everyone almost laughed at him, but Aki and Aki and Power have heard the story before, so they kind of chuckle a bit, but they're like laughing out loud, like kind of like Himeno, Arai, and Kobeni are. So yeah. With this, they go inside the building, they see the devil. Denji immediately had his head turned into a chainsaw and just ate it, and this shocked Himeno. But Aki immediately just tells them all shut up real quick, and then displays his power, telling everyone that he knew Makima had a piece of the Gun Devil, and he used Denji to scare it into submission. So now he's a Gun Devil hybrid. And he's gonna use this one together. He's gonna use his hybrid power to gather all the other pieces and make him the Gun Devil host, so they can never hurt anyone again, and the public will know the Gun Devil's on their side. So any fear of guns, violence, and war will go to him, making him stronger, so he can prevent all those fears. Which made him slightly happy to hear that Aki did something scary, but did it for a good reason. So yeah. So with this, Denji even tells Arai and Kobeni, what the building's layout is. He just says he can sense the entire building. But eventually he's able to lead them to where the devil is, then told Kobeni and Arai and Himeno that they should utilize their Kishibe training. And, Himeno's like, what about Aki and Power? Denji's like, he trains them personally alongside Kishibe. Also, Denji, in terms of, I would say height and appearance, is very similar to Kishibe. Like his all-around build is very similar to Kishibe. He's basically Kishibe, but young. Skills and all, he's Kishibe. So, yeah. Just like he doesn't use knives and stuff. He uses chainsaw blades and chainsaw chains. So, yeah. But Denji is able to hand them a knife and tell Kobeni that if that devil leaves the building, she'll be endangering the entire public. And the sake of her friends relies on her, which she really endanger them. This does kind of lead to Kobeni fusing her scared but also badass side. She jumps down with Arai chasing her, and Himeno just jumps down, calling him a sly dog. Himeno's able to use the hand of the ghost and punch the Eternity Devil, kind of just scaring it, not scaring it, but just caving in its mouth. As Arai pulls out 2 knives and begins cutting it up, making it yell in pain. Himeno's able to tear it apart anytime but to let loose a lethal blow. Instead of 4 days going on for them torturing it, 7 days I believe, it's more like 3, just 3 days. And because there's more people doing more damage, it just gave up quicker. So yeah. By the end of it, Kobeni's panting, covered in blood, but she was uninjured. Same for Arai and Himeno, who were all panting. Then Denji let down a chain as they climb up, and Aki holding a pack of cigarettes. Himeno asked where Aki got one. She he was on his last one, but he says he left. Himeno, Arai, and Kobeni were just shocked. But yeah. Now that the group heads out to the bar to celebrate, and Himeno tries not to get drunk just to see if Denji tries to give Denji the kiss and she's drunk. He held her mouth shut, telling her he's gonna hold her mouth shut till she sobers up, telling her that he's not gonna allow any food or alcohol into her mouth. Eventually with this being a buzzkill, she did sober up, but then Denji handed her an entire bottle of alcohol, telling her this one time. That's doing the entire thing for kissing Denji, but no vomit. So yeah. When I said she vomited all over the table, after 5 minutes. So yeah. And Makima tried to also kiss Denji, but he simply just says no, thank you. I mean, everyone's shocked that he would do that to Himeno, but declined Makima of all people. Makima tries to rebel powers, but Denji's simply unaffected by it. Well, simply put, Denji's adoptive daughter / little sister, Nayuta, has tried to use some abilities on him. He's basically immune to control devil power. And he knows what they all are because his adopted sister / daughter is able to use almost the same powers as Makima, and he helps her with them. He knows how they work inside and out. So yeah, any power that Makima has, then Denji Denji knows and can use. not use, but can counteract. This Denji, it's not necessarily smart, he just knows what's going to happen because he's experienced it. This Denji has experience, which leads him to have decent common sense and intuition, but his overall IQ is basically the same. So yeah, just a serious attitude. But occasionally jokester guy. So yeah. Now, when it came down to the Katana Devil guy, he immediately tells Power to head with Makima, and tell that she wants to learn more from the top of the Hunter Association. Power has a similar attitude, saying, fine, cause you're Denji, I'll do it. And leaves. So yeah, Power has the same attitude towards Denji that she has near her, sadly, untimely death. So yeah, Power's a bit like that to Denji right now, but as they go on, well, when it came to the guys trying to kill Makima, Power just jumped up with a scythe in her hand, and their heads just fall off. One guy was left, Power got his gun and shot him clean through the eye. That was the fight right then and there. And immediately Makima was shocked that Power was able to dispatch all of the assailants before her usual guards. And Power simply says, Kishibe is a really good teacher, which makes Makima chuckle. And then after that, we would probably go on to Then she would find her. I forgot the chick's name. Sabatari. Didn't you find Sabatari? As she's without the Katana Devil. Then he just turns his entire hand into Pochi does, just trying to claw arm and shit with chainsaws and everything. And then simply told Sabatari, this is going to be extremely painful. She sighed before Denji used that one hand and tore her apart. So yeah. Now that Katana Devil's fighting Aki right now, and Aki's pretty easily able to turn his arm to a gun to deflect any other attack, saying that, the Katana Devil makes his katana stronger than regular katanas. Aki makes his guns stronger and more durable than regular guns. But eventually the Katana Devil not able to cut through him, and Aki kind of grabs him by his face and tears his entire lower jaw off, but in a way that the point where he kind of just tore his entire torso off. And Himeno was almost about to use her to go tell her, so Aki simply told her, you're not allowed to fight. You will leave with everyone here. Which confused Himeno. She would tend to leave, but just spy on Aki in secret. But Aki is piecing up the Katana Devil, like it's nothing, not even using Gun Devil powers. But on the time the Katana Devil is just panting. This is a new Katana Devil, by the way, I forgot to mention that, because I said that he died, because Denji killed him before he left, before he used even the Katana Devil. Who was I going to say it was? I had it written in my notes. Shit. This is not good for me. Fuck. What was his name? I'm trying to think about it. It's so hard because I forgot their name. Tolka. That was it. Tolka. He's one of the private sector devil hunters. He's also Santa Claus's student. So yeah. The Tolka was given an opportunity by Makima, and Santa Claus insisted that he take it. So yeah. Or Master insisted that he take it, because Santa Claus and Master are almost the same person, basically. So yeah. Tolka's doing this, and it's just being pieced up by Aki like it's nothing. Now, mention with this, Aki's able to grab him by the face before Aki's entire forehead just turned into a pistol and just shot off the top half of his head. Now, Makima arrived to see that Aki is a Gun Devil hybrid, and she actually asks Aki where he had time to accomplish this. And he says that when Makima let out the piece of the chainsaw the Gun Devil that they had was loose, Aki killed a devil that had it, and the Gun Devil fused with him as some of a thank you. Makima was actually a bit nervous now that someone that she could not control, being Denji, was allied with Aki now, the Gun Devil. Power, who's able to be stronger than the majority of devil hunters now, was also on their side. Kishibe was on their side a lot more than hers. She knows this. But now Himeno, Arai, and Kobeni. And this Denji kind of smirked at her before waving. In the back of his hand simply says, I am not Denji. She froze, and assumed, she started talking to Denji after this, and then simply told her his entire life story from his original timeline. And simply told Makima, in this timeline, and he's using his body basically the same, it's just that he evolved it to adapt to similar skills. So with this, because he basically raised another Makima, but made her good, he's immune to all of her powers, or can counteract them in an instant before she even tries to use them. She has nothing to do against him. This was going to make Makima a bit annoyed as Denji ended up leaving, and before the door shut, well, as soon as it shut, like she did the slam, both of her arms fell off as she just yelled in pain, but they grew back. Actually, she's actually genuinely terrified of Denji now. More so than Pochita, where she's in love with Pochita, but now terrified of Denji and Pochita. So, yeah. Denji even told her that he made Pochita stronger than him at his peak. And Pochita still refused with him. So Makima basically knows that now, no matter what, she's lost. Denji is not going to make this easy on her. Also, Aki is currently with Squad 4 now, like the Angel and such. I believe it's fucking think really hard about this. Sort of in Division 4 is Captain Kishibe, Aki, Princey, Angel, Himeno, Fushi, Madoka, Arai, Kobeni, Beam, Galagi, or Galgali, or Galgali. Violence. Alright. But yeah. Now, the Denji powers soon join up, and immediately Aki kind of just went in the room, and Denji already clarified there's no one listening, and immediately Kishibe pointed to slapped something against a board and revealed everything about the Denji's story from the canonical timeline, but also what may happen in this one. Well, this Beam and yells, saying he basically has now two like chainsaw devil samas. And then he says, no, you have one, but so this devil has experience of 2. So you have like 1.25. And Aki says, not how it works, but close enough. And with this, they kind of just kind of form a group. So yeah. And now we come to Reze. Again, Denji first meeting her and seeing her like appearance. She asks him why he's focused on her neck, and he simply says, that pin is the same as the bomb devils. He immediately grabbed it, telling her, if he pulls this and she turns into a bomb devil, he's gonna eat her. They made her try to jump back, but Denji simply just told her, like, here's a finger through the pin now, saying, if you jump back, you're gonna turn into the devil. And you're inside a building right now. Now that Reze kind of calmed down as Denji brought her out back. And before she knew it, Denji almost ate a majority of her body, leaving her barely alive, giving Denji the abilities of the bomb devil. He just smirked, as now he had gained a whole other ability. So, Denji's pin more or less lies on, well, his palm. There's one small dot that Denji can just grab on, pull. That pulls the pin, and then his hand can just gets blown off, and he turns into, the bomb devil. Giving Denji 2 different devil abilities. Now this Reze kind of retreats whatever group is helping her, and yeah. Now Reze tries to make a pact with Denji, where he just leaves her sleeping with him, but he simply just does not care about the pact and leaves her. So yeah. But Denji would basically go off at some point, because he realized something. He doesn't know when the War Devil came about, so he's searching in the entirety of Japan for it. He even left the country to look for it again. But at some point, on his way back to Japan, he'd found it. Then Denji searched for the Gun Devil, was basically the entirety of the bomb Devil arc. When Denji found the War Devil, he didn't want to eat it. He was saying that it was weak, but he'll foster it to make it strong enough that he'll want it. The War Devil actually felt pretty offended to the point where Denji's using reverse psychology to make it feel like it needs to be eaten to earn Denji's praise. But with that, War Devil basically even reaches its full potential, and he's like, now am I worth eating? And he says, oh yeah, you basically drove yourself so I could eat you. I'm better at this than Makima. And then try to eat majority of the Gun Devil. Not Gun Devil, majority of the War Devil. He even put it in like a cage so it could not escape, but also halted the regeneration of the power. Power and Aki also ate a bit of it, giving all 3 of them the powers of the War Devil. So yeah. Then Denji has an idea as he ended up kind of like tearing off basically both of his hands and giving them to Aki and Power, giving them both the abilities of the Chainsaw and Bomb Devil. Denji's limbs almost instantaneously regenerate, but now this group is just powerful. So yeah. They can all eat pieces of each other to gain powers of the respective devils, giving them all powers of the Blood, War, bomb, gun, chainsaw devils. So yeah. Now with this, Makima kind of like Denji told Makima what they did, and Makima immediately kind of just told Denji that the entire Squad 4 is basically banished. But now Denji has a whole other idea: eating each other. He kind of told everyone that all the devils here will proceed to sacrifice their powers to the humans, but while still keeping themselves alive, as Makima had betrayed them. They all believe this, but Angel's the only one who doesn't sacrifice his own power because they all don't want Angel's power. So yeah. With this, Himeno kind of brought Denji to the Ghost Devil, who he ate a majority of it, then chained it up so it could never escape. This he gave some power to Himeno, making Himeno the entirety of the Ghost Devil, basically. And with this, everyone in the group besides Angel, being Kishibe, Aki, Power, Denji, Princey, Himeno, Fushi, Madoka, Arai, Kobeni, Beam, and Violence, are all the Blood, War, Chainsaw, Gun, Bomb, Ghost, Shark, and Violence, and Spider Devils. This means 10 devils crammed into 10 people. Not 10 people, 10 devils crammed into 12 devils. Or 10 devils crammed into 12 people. So, yeah. So with this, Makima realizes that this group is not the strongest, and is terrified. And Denji's still being hunted, but now he found Reze. Now Reze's meeting up with the international assassins, but immediately, as soon as she tried to leave the building, she looked up on a rooftop, and just saw Denji staring down at her. He smirked as he pulled the pin on his hand, and he blew up. But out of the smoke, Denji was in front of her, and before she knew it, Denji would basically kind of just grab her, and his arm was basically the palm of his hand was just kind of like a giant missile. Because he knew this building was housing a ton of assassins, he blew up Reze and the entire building. The Denji turned around and walked off, and then made a public announcement about the leader of the Devil Hunter Association, whatever it's called. Made this announcement, and to this Squad 4, we're now viewed as the heroes of society, because Denji's counteracting all of Makima's powers, so that she cannot do anything against him. So yeah. Or she can't turn anyone against him. Then it came to like the longsword, spear, whip, flamethrower, devils, or hybrids. When it came to them, well, Denji simply just sent, I would say, he sent Arai, Violence, and Madoka after them. Madoka is the guy with glasses with the giant scar across his across his nose. So Arai, Madoka, and Violence go after those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So Madoka, Arai, Violence, and I will say Princey go after those devils. Now, Princey is pretty easily able to kill a longsword hybrid because, well, simply put, longsword does not really match up with her really fast speed. She kind of shot his sword in half and took out one of his eyes and then tore him to pieces and almost killed him. Well, she ate him, but she needed his powers because she killed him and ate his entire body. So yeah. The flamethrower hybrid fought Arai, who simply just jumped above him and, well, just kind of just used Bean's powers and bit his head off, and he died right then and there. So yeah. And then the whip hybrid had to fight against Violence, who grabbed the whip and then he grabbed her arm and tore it off and beat her with her own whip until she was dead. Violence used violence. So yeah. Then the Madoka fought against the spear hybrid. As soon as the spear hybrid tried to just grab at him, he simply just dodged and punched a hole through his chest and crushed his heart, killing him right then and there. So yeah. Now this is basically the International Assassin arc being a bit more intense, but eventually Denji is able to he's able to not recruit, but he's able to meet up with Yoshida, Quan Chi, and that's about it. Just Yoshida and Quan Chi. And it came to them on his apartment. He told them what he plans to do. They agree, as he even tells them where Santa Claus may be, and about the three brothers. Aldo, Joey, and because Aldo and Joey's third brother doesn't have a name, I'm going to call him AJ, so, yeah. So Aldo, Joey, and AJ Denji tells them where they are and what they might be trying to do right now. With this, Quan Chi sends, I would say, sends Cosmo and let's just say she sends Cosmo. What are like her other devils? Fiends. I forgot their names. Who cares? Quan Chi would send Cosmo. Oh, after one of the brothers, the other two, Denji would leave up to. He would leave up to Fushi and Himeno. So yeah. Now Fushi pretty easily found AJ and just shot him in the back of the head before he knew what was happening. As her brother tried to attack him, Himeno just punched a hole through his chest using Ghost Devil's arm. And Himeno then kind of just consumed his entire body using Ghost Devil powers. So yeah. So Himeno now has both of her eyes and everything, and she's pretty solid right now. Like her body's entirely whole. So yeah. And then now for Santa Claus. Yoshida, Aki, Kishibe, and Angel are going after Santa Claus. While Denji and Power confronted Master. The Master already identified Denji as like the one who killed not Denji. Identified Aki as the one who killed Toka, but then Denji as the one who ordered it. And Denji simply says, everything that's been going on so far, he's planned it ahead. He compares it to a manga he's been reading recently. But he doesn't care too much. Not recently, but a manga he's read before. He called it Bleach. This reminds me, he compares himself to a guy called Aizen in a manga called Bleach he's read. But eventually with this, Master tried to use the powers of just Devil's Trap Denji in like hell. But when it came to the Primal, the Darkness Devil, and all them, Denji was ready because Cosmo came back. So Cosmo was down there with Denji in power. And then Denji simply says that since they're in hell right now, he can eat them and they won't come back. And after the first time, they would see Denji's all-out form. Denji's pulling the pin on his chest, as they see Denji grow a lot of different features. He pulls the cord on his chest, pulls the pin on his hand. He just does he basically kind of just tears his body to pieces. He basically just pull the pin on his hand, essentially. Pull the pin on his hand, pull the cord on his chest. As our body is just destroyed by that, and because his whole body is destroyed, he would awaken every single devil power. We see giving him multiple arms, horns, and what else? It's kind of like a sharkish head combined with a chainsaw head and a bomb head. But also very distinct scars across his face, and one of the scars would basically kind of like break off part of the mask, giving Denji the ability to see through a human eye. And now with this, the Primal and War Devil, Primal, the Primal Darkness Devil, I believe it'd be I believe it's the Curse, Darkness Devil, and the Hell Devil. Those three devils are gonna stare down Denji and Cosmo, and Denji's actually able to hold out one of his hands for Cosmo, and she just bites it off. She would consume it as she would gain the ability of only one devil, and that devil happens to be the War Devil. And immediately with this, Cosmo's head is kind of just fixed, and she can now communicate in sentences, proper ones actually. But still, the sentences are very drawn out, kind of like I would say Henry from Black Clover. She kind of talks like him now. Like her body cannot fully process her words, but it gained a bit of different processing. With Denji, Cosmo, and Power are pretty easily able to take out. Denji eats the Cursed Devil. The Cursed Devil is just erased. Hell Devil fights Cosmo, who knew his powers inside and out, leaving her to pretty easily destroy him. So yeah. But she didn't really feel any guilt about killing him, but she felt guilt about what she was doing to Power. And saying guilt, actually, she just turned Power into a giant sword and then used Power as a sword to kill the Hell Devil. The Hell Devil was just killed immediately because Cosmo felt intense guilt because Denji's been nice to her. But as soon as she dropped Power's sword, Denji's cut up in a stone, finding Power's mouth, and Power reverted back to normal, proving back kind of Toon Force. But Power naked. So yeah. But Denji threw his covert power as he stared down the last devil, being the Darkness Devil. And Denji is not afraid of the dark, at all. Well, Naruto was, but still. The Darkness Devil tried to use his powers on them, but Denji was not affected by it at all. As he simply just says, is he has a lot of different devil powers in tandem. This one power, or these two powers that he has, the War and Gun Devil, well, 3 powers, gun, war, bomb devil. Combining them makes him the most lethal fire force on the planet. As he tells, well, Power and Cosmo hide behind him. They do so, Denji's arms turn into a gigantic cannon, and he lets go a bomb that will basically eradicate their entire portion of hell that they're in. Kind of like a nuke, but times 10. That they leave the War Devils dead, where Denji's just bodies, but almost like just charred, looking like Shigaraki, basically. So yeah. Power stared down the Doll Devil. But Power's actually a bit mad that she couldn't defend Denji right now, because Denji's more like her brother, but she has a crush on him now. It's kind of weird. Power's able to make like daggers out of her knives, with Kishibe jumping in front of her, and the two of them pretty easily cut down the Doll Devil, and the Doll Devil's doll, and the Doll Devil himself. So yeah. Now with this, Kishibe just walks up for cutting off his own hand and pouring his blood into Denji's mouth. Denji's body recovers, and well, Kishibe kind of just stabs his hand back on, so, yeah. Now this Kishibe's hand kind of has to heal like a normal human hand because he's not getting blood from anyone, but yeah. But with this we end up seeing, well, we end up seeing Quan Chi with like a crossbow, like a bolt clean through Santa Claus's head, which kind of ended the fight right then and there. But now Denji simply says he's gonna go hunt Makima now. But Kishibe, Quan Chi, and Aki tried to join him. Well, they go to Makima's house, where Denji simply let out all the dogs and brought them into his house, which is a lot bigger now because it's actually a house that he shares with Aki and Power, so it's a house. So yeah. But as soon as they find Makima, well, the fight ensues. Well, simply put, this fight is the most challenging one of Makima's life that she would lose in just 5 minutes. So yeah, and each time like they're all able to kill her, and sending high amounts of time, even before she even realizes that she's being killed. So yeah, like how Kishibe killed Denji and Power before they could react. They could all do that to her on a much higher scale. So yeah, that leaving her to basically die so much that her body can't even process it, and her power basically just breaks because it's not processing it. But with this, Denji's able to kind of chain her up and then eat her like he does in canon. So yeah. And with this, he finds Nayuta right she's born, and tells his parents about who she is. That they abandoned her at birth, but Denji has her now. So yeah. Now with this, well, this basically leads to Denji, Aki, Power, and Kishibe occasionally raising Nayuta. So yeah. So with this, we can probably go on to we will probably go on to just, well, I guess the second part of the story, which likely does not happen because Denji's not the new Makima, but he hunted down almost every devil he'd have trouble with before they even occurred, and they would not come back because they're scared of Denji. So yeah. With this, Denji is basically allowed to do whatever he wants to said devils, and when it came to Asa and her War Devil, Denji has a War Devil in his house, locked in his basement, that the War Devil does not try to escape. Like, he is not even his babysitter at this point. Denji ate, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse babysits the other. For free. In exchange for, a decent amount of blood. So, yeah. So, Denji gonna hold captive 2 devils that are powerful and then kill their other 2 counterparts, and they cannot come back. So, yeah. Denji basically killed the strongest devils, while the other 2 strongest are living in his house. Any devil that wants to fight him, they're gonna have to fight basically 12 other devils all at once. Then fighting Denji, Aki, and Power as a group, which never happens because they're all individually as strong as a country, or even stronger than that. Well, it's basically fighting, well, yeah, you're basically fighting whatever 12 times 3 is. So, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoy this What If. Like and subscribe for more. Adios.